Practicing website hacking on a real target could land you in prison. But theory alone will never make you a real hacker. You need a live target. So today, we build our own. Welcome back to TechSky. Today we're setting up VulnMart, a deliberately vulnerable online store that runs entirely on your own machine. This is your personal playground for practicing real web pen testing, from SQL injection to cross-site scripting and everything in between, without ever touching a system you don't own. And that right there is what keeps everything you do legal and ethical. In just a few minutes, you'll have this running right in your browser. A full e-commerce site with real products, working carts, checkout flows, user accounts, and even an admin panel. Every bit of it vulnerable by design and waiting for you to break it. Let's get started. First thing we always do is update the system. Run sudo apt update to refresh our package lists, then sudo apt upgrade to install any available updates. Mine is already up to date, so let's move on. VulnMart runs inside Docker, so we need a couple of prerequisite tools first. Install them with sudo apt install-y docker.io docker-compose. This pulls down Docker itself, along with Docker Compose, the tool that lets us launch everything with a single command. Now during this installation, it might pause and ask you about configuring docker.io, warning you that it will remove all existing Docker data. Since this is a completely fresh installation, and we have nothing to lose, just move to Yes and press Enter. Let it finish installing. With Docker installed, let's start the service. Run sudo service docker start. Then let's confirm it's actually running with sudo service docker status, and you can see it's active and running right here. Press Q to get out of that view. Our prerequisites are ready. Now let's grab VulnMart itself. Open your web browser, and in the address bar, type github.com/techsky-code/vulnmart. Then press Enter. Here's the repository. You can scroll down to read the brief documentation, but don't worry about that. I'll explain everything as we go. First, copy the repository URL from the page. Now back in your terminal, write git clone, followed by that URL you just copied, and run it. Once it finishes cloning, move into the new folder with cd vulnmart. Let's peek inside with ls, and you can see the Docker files, the database folder, and everything the project needs. Now for the main event. Run sudo docker-compose-up-build. This one command does a lot of work for us. It reads the project's Docker files, builds the container images from scratch, sets up the database, and launches the web application, all automatically. The very first time you run this, it needs to download and build everything, so give it a few minutes to do its thing. Keep an eye on the terminal. Once you start seeing web-1 appearing after db-1 without any errors, that means VulnMart is up and running. Let's go check it out. Back in your browser, open a new tab and type localhost:8080. And there it is. The login screen appears, and notice it even shows you sample credentials right on the page. There's one set for an admin account, and one for a regular user. Let's start with the regular user. I'll log in with username John_do and the password shown here. Look at that. Once you sign in, it looks exactly like a real e-commerce site. Product categories, a search bar, featured items, everything you'd expect from a genuine online store. Let's poke around a little. In the search bar, type laptop, and you can see two results appear. Click the first one, the ProBook 15. Now this is a fully built product page. Scroll down, and you'll even find related products, along with a ratings and reviews section, just like the real thing. Let's click Add to Cart, and it drops right into our cart. Up at the top, click the Cart button, and here's the item we just added. Click Proceed to Checkout, and it asks for a shipping address. Type in anything you like, and click Place Order. And congratulations, your demo order is placed. Feel free to explore the other products, categories, and account settings on your own later. Now let's see the other side. I'll log out, and this time log in with the admin credentials shown here. Everything looks the same as before, but notice one extra thing up top, an admin panel tab. Click it, and you'll see a list of all the user accounts, along with activity logs showing what everyone's been doing. But here's the really useful part. Click Settings at the top. You'll find a hints option you can toggle on, and this is gold for learning. When enabled, it tells you exactly which vulnerability lives at which spot in the application. You can also set the difficulty level for each of those spots, moving from low to medium to high as your skills grow, or reset everything back to the default low whenever you want a fresh start. And that's the full tour. Your own vulnerable playground, running locally, completely under your control. Once you're done exploring, you can shut VulnMart down. Head back to the terminal and press Ctrl+C, and that stops everything cleanly. And here's the good news for next time. When you want to fire it back up, you don't have to sit through that whole build again. Just run the same command, but without the -- build flag, and it starts back up in seconds. You now have a complete web pen testing lab sitting on your own machine. A real-looking target you can attack freely, break repeatedly, and learn from without any legal risk whatsoever. And this is just the beginning. We'll be growing VulnMart over time, adding more vulnerabilities and more challenges, turning it into a full all-rounder playground for web security. In upcoming videos, we'll start putting this lab to work, exploiting these vulnerabilities one by one, and learning exactly how attackers think and how defenders stop them. So if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Until then, this is TechSky, your ultimate battleground of cybersecurity and ethical hacking. Stay curious, stay ethical, and keep learning.